Um, I will speak a little bit about OQ, alternative energy, where it sits. I will also speak about how we see, how we take advantage of Oman's geographic location on the Indian Ocean, plus where we see OQ alternative energy basically taking a part into the logistics and taking logistics into the energy transition and helping get to net zero for the logistics sector. If I look at OQ alternative energy, it's part of OQ, which is a state-owned entity. We cover a variety of pillars, let's say, within the decarbonization space. So we look at decarbonizing OQ and spearheading energy transition for OQ. Within that, I look at things such as energy efficiency. So we look at how do we ensure that we are utilizing energy in the most efficient manner for OQ and by extension for the country. We look at clean energy. What do we do around ensuring that we convert our existing assets into clean energy, but also how do we propel the energy transition or green industry? And one example is we have partnerships with Vulcan Green Steel to develop renewable power for them. We look at also low carbon molecules, the development of low carbon molecules. OQ is traditionally an integrated energy company that looks at oil and gas, petrochemicals, chemicals. One of our assets is the Oman India fertilizer company that was also mentioned earlier. So we are very familiar with producing molecules. How do we make them low carbon? The foray into green hydrogen as an example. And then negative emission technologies. So, and then if we then look at what are we doing within that space and how do we make advantage of the location where we're at. Oman is blessed to be faced on the Indian Ocean. With that, it allows us to make full use of the sun. Plus what we get is the strong winds coming through from the Indian Ocean, which means that we have two regions, the Duqm region, which was mentioned previously, as well as the far region that allows us to get very high wind speeds, which means the complementarity between solar and wind gives us a number of hours across the day, almost 24 hours, where we can get renewable power. That then allows us to have a nice basis to create renewable power, not just that goes into energy, but also to produce low carbon molecules. And then if I look at basically what are we doing in terms of how do we support maritime and how do we support logistics, a number of areas where we're looking at producing or investigating the production of low carbon fuels. We are looking at the shipping industry, which I think you'll talk about, the ammonia and methanol. So there's an area where we can look at producing green ammonia, e-methanol or low carbon methanol. How can we support within creating even the hubs within the ports itself to be running as a net zero port? Those are the kind of areas where we look at. So that's kind of gives you a flavor of what we do within OQ Alternative Energy. We've been named as the national champion for renewable energy by the government. That allows us to supply oil and gas industrial players with renewable power should they wish to use green power. We're also within the green hydrogen space, we have a number of hydrogen projects. If I look at my pipeline within clean energy, I've got maybe over between 7 to 10 gigawatts of in the pipeline. If I look at my green hydrogen projects, similar in terms of magnitude, and then I have back-end rights into other green hydrogen projects that are within the country.